What is up, guys? What is up? Today, we're doing some more of this OpenGuessr, GeoGuessr. Well, essentially GeoGuessr, but it's OpenGuessr. It's the free version of GeoGuessr. You know, I might have a little ad here down at the bottom, you know, but looks like I can't get rid of it. So we're just gonna have to look at that. That's fine. I honestly, I don't want to pay for GeoGuessr. It's kind of lame. So yeah, if you're not familiar, which I think pretty much all you probably are, basically it gets you a little section on Street View or like a panoramic little photo here, and you can check out and guess where we are. Well, that's a mosque. So that's a hint. That's a hint right there. We're a pretty dry area, right? Probably somewhere in the Middle East. It would be a pretty safe assumption to make. So we see we have a water tank above this house here. That indicates probably they don't have good underground water lines in this area. Okay, so this isn't like a full desert environment because, as you can see, we have this large swath of trees here. Looks pretty flat. Though we do have a hill back here. It's hard to say exactly, but this looks like we're looking at an apartment building. It's hard really to say for sure. I'm going to guess that, and the problem is I'm not sure exactly which countries have Street View and which don't. I know Turkey does have Street View. So I'm going to guess somewhere in Turkey. Now where? I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess sort of the central flat sort of basin area in Turkey. Okay. 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 All right, I'll take that. Now I've got music apparently. Wow. Let me see if I can get rid of this music. It's going to drown out my voice here. We can do with a little bit of music in the background. That's probably fine. Yeah, so, all right. Okay, so you see this is like at least a somewhat tropical-ish area. Utamakan Kasel Lamatan. Okay, so that sounds Tagalog-ish. Or like one of the Filipino languages. Potentially. Yo. Yeah, so what is this logo here? I can't quite tell. Yeah, so this could very easily be somewhere in the Philippines. could also be somewhere in, for example, oops, I didn't mean to move. Usually I like to not try to move around too much in this. I like to just start, or just, you know, just go from the starting area. Trying to look and see if I get any more leads. So we have some, what look like almost coniferous trees. But it definitely is pretty tropical. It looks like a humid place. I forget what you call these trees, but I've seen them before. I'm gonna guess this is in sort of like the more inland, maybe slightly high ground, but not quite mountainous area of Luzon. Oh, I was wrong. Okay, so this is sort of central inland Malaysia. Okay. All right. You win some, you lose some. So what is this? So, Coronado Trail. Coronado Trail. That sounds like somewhere in the United States. Coronado Trail. Coronado Trail. Sorry. Well, I don't know exactly where the Coronado Trail is, but that sounds like that would be somewhere in sort of the mountainous area of California, perhaps. Now, I'm not aware of anything called the Coronado Trail in the Cleveland National Forest or the San Jacinto Mountains. It's Palm Highway. Could be something in the Angeles or San Bernardino National Forests. That is a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. Let's see if you can see. Yeah, see, none of these are even named Trail. And you know, you don't often see like actual 2-lane roads named Trail in the state of California. It's definitely sort of a higher elevation area. Pretty far from everything else, though still fairly dry. I couldn't tell you, but it's probably somewhere in the. It could be somewhere in the Los Padres National Forest. I don't know, but I think it's probably somewhere in mountainous California. I was dead wrong. The 191, sure enough. U.S. Highway 191, also known as the Coronado Trail. It's in the Apache National Forest here. Okay, well, that is what it is. So this is Line Creek Mine Road. I have to turn my head over to see it. Okay, so we definitely have like a sort of mining operation going on here. Been requested to get some scissors, though I don't know. Oh. There. Okay, so coal. Okay, well that's a big hit. But look at these. These are some pretty high mountains, snow-capped. Yeah, so we got a coal mining operation going on here, so it's fairly safe enough, I suppose, to say that this is in Appalachia. But in a very sort of, an area with very sort of high mountains here. So, and again, this is Line Creek Mine Road. And now, Great Creek. Definitely not going to be able to search all these different little roads to find the next one. I'm not going to, or to find the correct one. I'm not going to spend that much time, but I think this is probably somewhere in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Dude. Oh man. Oh man, how wrong was I? Apparently they do coal mining up in Alberta, or actually this is across the line in British Columbia, in the Northern Rocky Mountains, which I can't say I'm that surprised, but wow, that's not at all what I thought. I should have known it wasn't the Appalachians. Those mountains are too high. There are some parts of the Appalachians that get pretty high, but probably not that high. I can't say for certain. I've never really been there, but it looks a little high for the Appalachian Mountains, so I should have known. North Kansas Avenue. So again, this is definitely in the United States, but that doesn't really give us too many hints because there's a Kansas Street in a lot of cities in the U.S. In fact, in my hometown, there's a Kansas Street, and my hometown is anywhere near Kansas. It's got an old house here. A lot of brick construction. Apparently I'm not that good at this because I really don't have any idea what part of the United States this is in. Though it's definitely in the United States. I couldn't tell you exactly where. Well, it looks pretty flat. It looks dead flat, actually. So it's in a flat part of the country. It's old houses. Okay, this sort of sidewalk style. Obviously an urban area, urban or suburban area, though not new construction at all. Decent amount of trees. Doesn't look too hot, doesn't look too cold. Though who knows how cold this place gets in the wintertime. Though if you notice these shrubs don't look like incredibly cold water or cold weather shrubs. I think this might be like at some small town in Texas or medium-sized area in Texas. So I don't know, Killeen. Let's say that. Oh, it's in Nebraska. As Hastings, Nebraska. Okay. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Tiny little road here. Tiny little dirt road. Definitely a tropical area, but not much hints in this one. Not much hints in this one at all. Shoot. Well, we know the Philippines has Street View. We know Malaysia has Street View. Would it be cheating to check if Indonesia has Street View as well? Would that be cheating? I don't know if it would be, but if it is, sue me. All right. Maps.com. Yeah, let's check. Let's check. Indonesia does indeed have Street View. But like, what's their Street View like at some of these like far out areas? So we see labeled streets, generally speaking. Check this out. Yeah. That's a cool little monument here. Okay. What about East Timor? Do they have Street View? They have some. Though, yeah, East Timor is more sort of like a hilly area. Fascinating country, actually. I've spent some time looking at it on Google Maps, like on the satellite view, and it's kind of an interesting place. It's very, it's pretty, like, it has more people than you'd think it does, because, like, when you're looking at it, it looks, like, mostly pretty sparse. There's not, like, a whole lot of people. Like, I mean, you have some villages here and there, but it's pretty sparse. Baguia Fort. Oh, wait, hold on, this is cool. What is this? Okay. I mean, that's kind of interesting. Old Portuguese little tiny fort. Oh, that's cool, actually. That's really cool. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, like, it's mostly pretty rural. Small country and also mostly rural at the same time. I mean, you have some people dotted throughout, right? You know, down these little dirt roads. And this one wouldn't have Street View? No. Yeah. Interesting place. But yeah, you see kind of, you know, people dotted throughout that you wouldn't really see on first glance. You know, you just kind of see sort of wilderness. And even like sort of the capital, Dili. It's not, you know, not particularly big or anything. Small little tiny place, small little country, that's for sure. Anyway, so with this, I think it's probably also the Philippines. But I could be very wrong on this one. In fact, I think I am wrong. I think it's more likely to be somewhere in Malaysia. Where? I don't really know. You know what? Maybe it's in Sarawak. Who knows? Let's see. It's in the Amazon, in the state of Para, south of Centarum. Nice one, guys. We're so good at this, dude. We're so good at this. It's insane how good at this we are. Lettenweg? So this is like in Germany or the Netherlands or something like that. Bettenweg. Weg kind of means like way in German, and I think also Dutch. Yeah. Got some hills in the background here. On this side, kind of hard to tell. It looks kind of flat going off in this direction. I think this is Germany. Sort of new-ish built houses, not like super new. This one looks a little older, but yeah, this one definitely, yeah, some of these definitely look older. Now, where in Germany? I couldn't tell you, but I think it's definitely Germany. What do you know? Turns out it's outside of Mannheim. Okay. That's fine. So we're going to do one more here, and then I'm going to log off. Just a quick little session today. Just a quick little stream. Just a quick little stop. We'll stop in. RS 484. RS. So we have sort of labeled streets here. RS. What could that stand for? RS. These buildings are pretty high trees here, but also sort of kind of tropical environment. I think those might be banana trees over there. I could be wrong, but then we definitely see all sorts of palms. Yeah, I think these are banana trees. Hilly sort of area, that's for sure. Hilly and forested. Pretty tall trees. We see this looks like it could be harvested sugarcane. I think that's what this is. I'm pretty sure this is somewhere in Latin America. RS. Okay. RS. Is there any states in Brazil that could go under that? I'm not sure where, but I'm gonna guess somewhere in the sort of hilly sort of area here of Brazil. That's not too bad. That's not too bad, actually. I got the right country at least. It's at a sort of southern half. Not too bad. All right, guys. That's all for today. We're going to go out and see a movie. So, I got to go. Have a good one.